This is Summit's new Ultralight XR sleeping pad. I recently tested this on a cold backpacking trip under Mount Hood, Oregon, and I was surprised by the warmth, the comfort, and ultimately, this one impressed me. So the first thing I want to talk about is the warmth of this sleeping pad. This is a 3.6 R-value. If you know anything about R-values, that is kind of on the low side. So I went out and I tested this in 30-degree temperatures, and I was super surprised that even that little 3.6 R-value, this thing packed a bunch of warmth. I'm honestly starting to wonder if R-values mean a whole lot, because I got pads with higher R-values that are not this warm. This thing has what they call ThermalCore technology. I remember 8 years ago when this was kind of new technology. I remember it with my Thermarest winter sleeping pad. Basically what that means is there is a thin sheet of, usually it's like aluminum, in the middle of this thing that reflects your body heat back up to you. It's pretty standard in sleeping pads now, and I feel like those low R values with newer sleeping pads are just way warmer. And that technology worked extremely well. Now, I didn't have this thing on snow. I had a very good system on top of it. All of those things play into the warmth, but yes, truly 3 seasons. As long as you're not camping on snow, I think this will keep you warm. In fact, it's tested, I'm kind of sure of it. The other thing I was super impressed with was the comfortability of this thing. This thing has these air sprung cells you can see on this pad instead of the horizontal baffling. These are hundreds of small interconnected chambers. Each cell compresses independently, so when your hip or shoulder sinks in, it doesn't collapse the whole pad. It distributes pressure outward instead of creating ridges. It feels more like an air mattress than a pad. It's also super light and super compressible. The regular version of this comes in at 14 ounces, and this thing gets up to 2.5 inches thick. That is impressive support for something this small. One of the things I didn't love was the valve placement. As you can see, this valve is placed right in the middle, right where your head would lay on this pad. Traditionally, every sleeping pad I've ever owned has this valve on the side, usually on this side. Now I understand why Summit did this. This is more durable for the sleeping pad. It's better for the seam structure. For me personally, I use a quilt. It has a sheet, so you can place the sheet over this, but it's going to cover up this area. And something like the Zenbivy winter bed that I was using with this, it has a place cut out here for your valve. So you don't have to take the whole bed apart to refill air, right? If I wanted a top off of air in the middle of the night or something, it's not super easy. You know, chances are you probably don't have a full Summit build. You probably have pieces from different companies. Maybe you have a different sleeping bag, or like me, a different quilt system. And that valve, though it might work great in the Summit ecosystem, it doesn't work great in my experience with my other gear from different companies. Okay, now let's talk about Summit's PillowLock feature. Here we have the Aeros down pillow, which I have used for 8 years. So this pad is gonna come with a baggie of these little Velcro adhesives, which I just put on, which tells you how much I use this feature. And once these little Velcro pieces are on, the pillow will attach like so. And there we go. We have a nice pillow lock. Like I said, not something I really typically use. If I'm using a mummy bag, the pillow is going to go inside my bag, not underneath it. And with my quilt, there's already a pillow locking system. But if you'd like to lock your pillow underneath your sleeping bag, it's always nice to know that you have that option. And one of the final things I do love about this sleeping pad also is the fact it's from Summit. Trust me, I've bought off-market gear, stuff from random companies. There's a lot of customer service that has come into play in my outdoor adventures where I've had to call people because things break or things are malfunctioning. And I gotta say, working with a strong gear company where you know you can get customer service, that have good warranty plans, that really value their customers and their experience is really important, because out there in the backcountry, things can go wrong. You don't want gear that you think might malfunction or you don't trust the company. So, if you're looking for a lightweight, comfortable, truly 3-season sleeping pad, this is a highly recommended option. It's going to be in my bag, even with some of the things that I talked about that I don't really love. The comfort to weight and size ratio, probably the best I've ever used. As always, link to this pad is in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.